Hello guys, gals, and Book Nook Pals. Let's plug the bunny with another unboxing. Today we have the Animal Carnival by CuteBee. This is not technically a Book Nook, but it is a self-contained 3D diorama wood puzzle made by a company that's known for their Book Nooks. So we're going to count it. They rate this one a 4 out of 5 difficulty, 5 to 8 hours. We know that's not a real number. This kit does look neat because it's got movable pieces, it's got a music box, and dynamic lighting control, and the coolest thing I see here, USB-C powered. So we have our retractable X-Acto knife, which is useful because I sliced my finger open. Oh, you can't see it, but I sliced my finger open last week because I forgot to close it, so it's nice that I have one I can close. Alright, let's take a look at what we have. Oh, upside down. It's okay. Whew, I like the cutouts in the box. That makes it feel fancy somehow. I don't know. But let's keep looking. We have our standard CuteBee style instruction manual. Multiple languages, which is nice. Just looking right off the bat, there are some things we don't see too often in a CuteBee kit. Computerized chip, in addition to the touch sensor, a multi-filament LED, a motor, a speaker, a USB-C adapter, and cables to connect to a battery box if you don't want to use USB-C. We got screws, nuts, a wax block. Again, as always, let's see if I can find it in arm's reach. Yep, there it is. I recommend using some variation of a wood lubricant paste instead of the wax block. A sanding stick, and we'll take care of that when we get to it, and some stickers instead of tape. Fairly intricate as far as Book Nooks go. Circuit diagram, wiring diagram, and as always, please hook everything up and check it before you start. All right. Though you do need your own USB A to C cable. Full color, and then right off the bat, boom, lots of instructions. So a big thing with the CuteBee stuff was orientation of parts in the past. Everything looks to be in full color, so that's nice. It does look like that's going to be easy to understand. It also looks like a lot of the wiring is getting done early in the build, which is nice because once you get over that hump, it's a nice coast to the end. You're not jamming electronics in and around everything at the end. So it does look like some forethought went into the engineering and the design of the instructions. As is common with CuteBee, I'm seeing a lot of internal structure for support things, which is always good. Their kits typically, when completely finished, are very sturdy, but sometimes leave a little to be desired during the build. So keep that in mind. It might not be the most stable thing until you're done, and then it's rock solid. I do like how they identify which LEDs you're using by the length. As always, everything's in millimeters. Very clear and explicit instructions, which is nice. I do like the transparent pictures with the current pieces in opaque to make it nice and clear as to what pieces are connecting where. That clown is creepy as hell, but we'll pass that bridge when we get to it. Yeah, it looks like a pretty decent instruction book. It's 100% in color, with the exception of the intentionally unsaturated pieces. But again, that's to make it easier to see what's going on, not harder. So instructions go all the way up to the last page. Now let's take a look at the actual materials for the kit. Wow, that is a fat stack, as I like to say. Lots of different runners here. So let's just go a little further. Wow, okay, so this is a much bigger wax block than you usually see with one of these kits. I'm stumbling a little with my words because I'm simultaneously trying to look and see if I have a standard one within arm's reach, but I don't because I don't really use it. This looks to be some kind of beeswax. Usually that's what these yellower ones are. It is a very firm wax block, but I suspect it's going to have the same problem, if not worse, than the smaller clear ones. It's going to be hard to get into the nooks and crannies, and it's just going to leave a mess all over the place. So they do give you plenty of wax. This is more than you'll need for 10 Book Nooks, but you definitely are going to be better off using a lubricant paste. I'm going to have to start a wax thing to go with my B7000 bucket, but we're gonna leave that there because there is no glue in this kit. CuteBee kits usually don't come with glue. All right, we got our screws and our nuts here, and we have our tiny little emery board, which they give us to sand this entire nook. And you know what we can do with this? We're gonna throw it away. One day I'm gonna clean out my corner and just find a pile of sandpaper, so we can leave our sacrificial piece of sandpaper right there. We have all of our electronics here, and oh, I like that. Look at that. They embossed their name on the circuit board. How neat. Standard electronics package and some double-sided tape. So let's take a look at the actual pieces themselves. Something I see online so often in some of these videos is when people are doing a review, they cut open across the face of it, and that's just insane to me. I don't know why you would spend all this money on a set and then destroy it while you're opening it. And you're going to hear my dog bark in a second, and then the video is going to have a weird time jump as I pause. But that's the problem of your dog being in charge of the house. And I have a little Shih Tzu, and she most certainly runs the family. So, looking at these pieces, accordion piece feels nice and flexible, doesn't feel stiff, though this is a newer kit, so the time when you have to worry about that is when you're building something older, because over time these kits dry out and get moist. I'm sorry, and get brittle. Most people know at this point that I'm looking for double-sided printing. It's interesting. I saw this touch sensor, this fingerprint icon on these pieces, and it does look like they're using this to test to see if the touch sensor works, but these are also the push-out tools. So it's an interesting double use, and I like that. Not seeing any double-sided printing. I do like the nice scroll work in Carnival, and we have no typo in the title, which is very common in these translation kits, or I'm sorry, kits made in a different country for primarily a different market. So now we are starting to see some double-sided printing, and that's what I was concerned about mostly, was some of these characters, because this is a revolving model. Right, it is a carousel where the pieces are going around in a circle. So if they're going around in a circle, not having double-sided printing means 50% of what you're looking at is going to be exposed, unfinished wood, and that to me is just a waste. So I'm very happy to see that as I get towards the back of this, we're seeing almost exclusively double-sided printing. Again, the thought that they put into something simple as that can give you a really good indication on what the build is going to be like and what the finished product is going to be like. Because if they're not considering like basic things like how it's going to look when it's done, then the whole experience is probably going to be pretty miserable. So takeaways from here: big old block of wax. Not a big fan. Standard terrible tape squares for the wiring, standard tiny little emery board that you're going to need to swap out with a hand sander, lots and lots of double-sided printing and a really good instruction manual with very clear pictures, and there's not a lot of 2D, there's no 2D elements in the 3D elements in this, because the motion makes the kit itself 3D. So even the elements that are 2D are 3D. So this might be something where you end up 3D printing specific figures to go inside of here to replace them. But from what I see, that might not be necessary. You might get a really good experience out of just building it stock. I also might color the edges of some of the inside pieces that are spinning, but for the outside, I think the brown of the wood really looks nice. So this probably would be an alcohol marker for the outside. You know, your standard furniture marker that's alcohol based to just stain the wood after you sand it, and not so much painting with acrylic markers. That's about 11 minutes. I'm Pluck the Bunny. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget to follow us on the Reddit subreddit Book Nooks. I guess like and subscribe the video. I'm sorry, like the video and subscribe to the channel, or click the bell, or whatever I'm supposed to say on YouTube. But thanks a lot. We'll see you for the next one.